is the reality that we are facing, that at the end of the day, AI is software development, and in order to be a good AI engineer, you need to be a good software developer. So today we're going to explore the fascinating world of AI as a service and understand how it's transforming the way we interact with AI in the digital age. So we're going to be basically answering the question, what comes after training a model? Like, okay, so I trained my model and it's working really well, but like, what comes after that? How can I basically sell what I did? And this is going to open the door for like many questions and many areas, and we're going to try to like have a blast of each one. And today's session is divided into four sections. Basically, the first one is introduction. The second one, you're gonna see it and how, they're gonna be divided into 30-minute spans. So, is everyone okay with that? Like, are you guys able to open your mics, or is it not something that we can do? Just to understand what you guys can do. Chat is disabled. I understand that. Can you open your mics? I assume not, since I got no answers, right? Okay, no worries. So, uh, let's start by outlining what we'll cover in the first presentation. So basically, we're gonna begin with a like broad overview of AI as a service, followed by a closer look at the benefits and challenges and the various methods that are available. We'll wrap it up today, this first presentation with a discussion on the specific services offered within the AI as a service framework. So we're gonna just make an overview in the first 30 minutes. And before starting with that, I'm gonna introduce myself a bit, just so you guys know my background and where do I come from. So my name is Ammar Mohanna. I'm Lebanese and French, and I am currently living in Beirut, Lebanon. I have a PhD in AI. I was in Italy once when I did that. And I'm a co-founder and the AI lead at Exemplify, and I'm a senior AI consultant as EDT and Partners. And here am I today. I'm going to be presenting to you my perspective of like using AI services. So let's start with an overview of AI services or AI as a service. So AI as a service refers to the delivery of AI capabilities through the cloud. This means users can access and utilize AI technologies without the need for extensive on-premises infrastructure. It offers scalability and accessibility, making advanced AI solution available to a broader audience. And this is the basic definition of AI as a service. So in other words, you guys all speak Arabic, so I can maybe use that. Guys, I need some interaction. You can use the Q&A to interact with me. We are not sure that we all speak Arabic. Fine. So if you prefer Arabic, let me know. Okay, anyway. So basically, AI as a service is the idea of making this model that we train sellable. So we can sell it, so people can use it. And usually, how did we use the services that are available online? Okay, thanks, Yusuf. So how could we use the services that are available online? We make APIs out of them. But is this all? Is it like all about APIs? We're gonna see. So in other words, in three times of other words, we are trying to see how users can access and utilize our AI technology without the need for extensive on-premises infrastructures. This AI as a service architecture or mindset, it offers scalability and accessibility, making advanced AI solutions available to everyone, just like ChatGPT is. So what is AI as a service? So now let's delve deeper into what we mean by AI as a service. This paradigm is about making advanced AI capabilities available over the cloud, eliminating the need for organizations to invest heavily in their own AI infrastructure. Cloud-based AI not only provides accessibility to a broader audience, but also offers scalability. And allowing this scalability factor uh, is going to basically allow organizations to flexibly adjust their AI resources based on their specific requirements and workloads. This accessibility and scalability are transformative, opening up new possibilities for businesses of all sizes to harness the power of AI. And this is the basic definition, but I'm gonna say it in other terms. Instead of everyone actually building their own GPU structure with like CPUs and servers to host their AI infrastructure, there is this new mindset that is called AI as a service that helps them, or basically us and them, benefit from a lower cost, from a lower overhead over the AI that we are going to do. And this basically is all about using the existing cloud infrastructure that the uh, using these AI infrastructure that the users are that the software is used to for AI benefits. So until now, we have defined what is AI as a service, and we have seen it. But why AI as a service is a great question that we're gonna try to answer now. Let's explore the compelling reasons why organizations are increasingly adopting AI as a service. So first, organizations are all about winning money. And when you say cost effectiveness, you are eliminating hefty fronts, AI investment, and adopting pay-as-you-go model for financial flexibility. Second, the rapid deployment is a key advantage in integration without complex configurations for speedy market responsiveness. Third is outsourcing the AI infrastructure. Management reduces complexity and allows your team to focus solely on the innovation of your AI models. This shift will foster a culture of continuous innovation where teams can concentrate on creating unique applications and driving value. And with that being said, do we have any questions so far? Questions? Cool. No questions. Oh, we have a comment. You guys can use the chat right now. Cool. Okay. So I hope that we now understand what is AI as a service. So it is, in a nutshell, hosting AI in the cloud in a very fast way using the existing cloud infrastructure that was designed for software. Are you good on that? Okay. So benefits and challenges of everything, just like in life, everything has pros and cons. So the benefits of AI as a service are lots of them. First, we're gonna be democratizing access to cutting edge AI capabilities, leveling the playing field for innovation. So for example, if we have a like major people who really understands the field of embedded systems or nuclear, and they live in a poor country, so how would they basically leverage their nuclear knowledge? They cannot basically. And in AI, it is feasible. They just need to train their own model and make it accessible for everyone. And then they're going to be competing with Silicon Valley, right? Secondly, after democratization, we have we are basically ensuring seamless integration with current organizational workflows, enhancing existing systems with AI capabilities. The last thing that is of high benefit is the flexibility and scalability of AI as a service, allowing organizations to adapt AI resources based on specific needs, ensuring optimal performance and cost efficiency. The challenges of AI as a service, on the other hand, are also there. So there's the critical concern of data privacy and security, addressing the need so safeguard sensitive information. So basically, if you are using the cloud, so the data is not basically in between your hands. So this is something that is of concern for some scenarios. The second thing, there's this delicate balance of dependence on service provider while maintaining organizational autonomy. So let's say any company that goes and start using AWS is all about AWS services. So whenever AWS publishes a new service, they're going to be using it because it's of benefit. But what if at any moment in time, any of these cloud providers decided to double their prices? They're gonna need to pay it because at the end of the day, they are too dependent on that cloud provider, so they're gonna basically pay. Lastly, we'll delve into the complexities of integration, navigating challenges when incorporating AI into existing workflows. Okay. So we have many AI as a service methods, and transitioning to prominent AI as a service method, we find a common pipeline shared by these approaches. The process begins with gathering of data and then training the model, followed by its full deployment and scalability matter. Fully managed workflow pipeline are then employed to ensure smooth integration. Subsequently, the deployed model undergoes evaluation and monitoring to understand its performance and monitor it. This cycle is iterative, so it allows for adjustments and it's gonna basically run in cycle. Other popular AI as a service platforms include Amazon SageMaker, which is the Amazon end-to-end machine learning capabilities, IBM Watson, which is the known for AI-driven solutions, as well as like Azure ML and others. Okay. We have here, we have spoken about Google Cloud AI platform. Now they changed its name. Its name is Vertex AI, as well as Azure AI or Azure ML. So what does these providers, like these services offer? So these are services within the cloud of these companies, but what do they offer? So let's focus on specific AI as a service offering. So to begin, computer vision. You guys should be familiar with that. So computer vision empowers you to harness AI in depth for image and video analysis. So an exemplary illustration in Azure Cognitive Services for computer vision. This service excels in extracting valuable information from images and videos, facilitating tasks such as image recognition and comprehensive analysis. Moving forward, we can delve into NLP. And when we say NLP services, a prominent example of those is Google AI Platform, which provides a suite of NLP services, empowering developers to craft robust text analysis applications. Some of the examples that are covered: sentiment analysis, entity recognition and classification, chatbot development, content moderation, LLM applications, and many others. Additionally, we have some capabilities, machine learning as a service, providing convenient access to on-demand machine learning capabilities. To conclude, some predictive analytics remains as a cornerstone, empowering informed decision-making through the comprehensive data analysis. So with that being said, and with AI as a service hopefully clear now, do we have any questions so far? Because next we're gonna move into a case study where we're gonna imagine a scenario of a company and then see if AI solves it somehow. You can use the chat or the Q&A equally. All is good. Abdul Rahman is fine. Okay. We don't have any questions. And this is something that is usually frightening. So you guys are either super advanced or not understanding anything. Let's hope you guys are advanced. Cool. So let's go for a case study now. So we have this like hypothetical case study to illustrate the real world impact of AI as a service. Consider a global e-commerce company called AI Mart. They are struggling with the volume of with the challenge of managing a high volume of customer inquiries. And when we say a high volume of customer inquiries, we basically mean that uh, they are an e-commerce platform like Amazon or whatever, and they receive calls, lots of calls. So they decided to go with AI as a service. So AI Mart adopted Microsoft Azure AI to enhance their customer support capabilities. So before we proceed with the results and the impact of AI Mart's AI implementation, let's take a moment to think about the challenges that they might have faced and what immediate thoughts or challenges come to your mind when dealing with high volume of customer inquiries in your own companies. So let's move to Arabic here because it's a bit easier. خلينا نعتبر انه in a way هن ناس عندهم شركة بيبيعوا اشياء. So imagine like Instagram page, okay? This is the smallest e-commerce that you can have. And this Instagram page بيبيعوا اشياء عليها and في كتير تليفونات عم بيجوا عليها. So شو اول شيء نحن بنعمله عادة لما يكون هيك الحالة؟ بنجيب موظفين اكثر يردوا على التليفون.
Okay, I'm so sorry for interrupting, but it's not okay to speak Arabic because it's recorded and there's a lot of attendees in different or foreign lanes. So we prefer English. I'm so sorry for that.
Okay. No, it's only because I saw someone who said they prefer Arabic, so yeah.
Oh,
So
I'm so sorry, but
I'm gonna stick
there's
with
a lot of
English. It's fine.
attendees will
Yeah,
attend
yeah,
this.
it's fine.
Okay, it's fine.
It's fine. It's
Thank
fine.
you.
Yeah. So Shadi answered something that availability and scalability, and this is completely correct. But like, how do we apply that, Shadi? Like, how do we actually move towards that in like an Instagram page that is selling lots of that is receiving lots and lots of calls, and that cannot really handle that anymore. So what do they do, for example, is first they hire lots of people and then they see that this is not scalable at all. And they cannot keep hiring more and more people in order to answer customers. So they do make a website, for example, so that people go check the website before calling. And then to make the call a bit harder, right? So you would listen to the this operator over the phone, and she would be like, yes, these are the services that we offer, and so on and so forth. So, in order to actually solve the e-commerce problem, um, using Azure cognitive services from Microsoft, AI Mart implemented a chatbot that handled routine queries, providing instant responses. So what impact did they have? They improved customer satisfaction by leveraging Azure Cognitive Services. The increased customer satisfaction with quicker and more efficient responses. So basically, we had a problem and we used a single service from Azure and we solved it. And this is basically a great thing because like 50 years ago, we would see that this is something that is like super challenging, right? But in today's world, it's not anymore. Exactly, Shadi. So Shadi is saying that on Instagram, you should embed an LLM to answer their queries, but I have no idea how this is done or if, yeah. So it's not that Instagram is gonna do it for you. You're gonna make it yourself, and it's gonna be like API request to ChatGPT or something else. It is super simple to implement, and it is feasible, completely feasible, right? So enhancing customer support with AI. So human agents could now focus on resolving the complex issues, ultimately improving the overall quality of the customer support. This case, this case study that we're highlighting here shows the practical benefit of integrating AI as a service into our daily operations. That seems easy or simple for us, but they're actually not that simple, right? So now, if you guys have any example in mind, you can just share it with us. I don't know if you can open the mic, but if you could open the mic, just open the mic and share the idea of any business case, and we're gonna try to optimize it with like AI as a services that are out there. Could they open their mics? Moderator?
Okay, I will exit this.
Yeah, please.
Okay, I'm trying to do this right now. I'm so sorry for
No
just
worries.
a
Take your
minute.
time.
Okay. Hi, Ziba.
Yeah. Sally. Anyone have a business case in mind that is out there and he wants us to make a case study?
I'm so sorry, but if anyone wants to talk, please raise your hand and I will access you
Yeah,
to
Sally
talk.
now.
Okay. Okay, I will access Sally. Just a minute. You can talk, Sally.
Yeah, hi everyone.
Hello, Sally.
Yeah, yani the idea or the application I can see which is coming from the industry where I'm working in, which is the e-learning industry, where I work in a platform called almentor.net, where I can see that if this is something integrated with the platform, it's helping learners to understand how this big library of courses can help them to create a kind of a personalized plan or a tailored plan that is related to their needs and maybe also the skills they have. This is one something came to my mind.
Okay, so if we're talking here about an e-learning platform, and this is an amazing example because e-learning platform are just like libraries. They used to be just like libraries where you have many books or courses, and you would go and explore your way through, right? But what does
Yeah,
this mean for the business? It means that at some times they are losing clients because those clients are not really finding the right courses for them. So Sally here is
exactly.
proposing that we could use like recommender systems to understand their preferences and then eventually recommend courses that they would be interested in doing, right?
Exactly, yeah.
And this is a clear example of how we can use AI in order for us to improve our existing businesses and our existing use cases. So this is exactly the AI as a service. So what would be the service that Sally needs in this case? She would need to look out into cloud providers or make her own service and make it as a service in the cloud. And it's going to be a recommender system based on the course description, for example. Just like we do text similarity, we would have all of these course description in a database. And if this guy puts like 5 stars to this course, so he actually likes it a lot, and 2 stars for this one, he doesn't really like it. And that's it. Any comments, Sally? Any ideas?
And no, that it's great actually, and I think there are yani, more sophisticated also scenarios because sometimes what you are looking for or the topic that you are looking for can be covered by several courses, not only one, and
So
it's
you need to
easier
make
if
a learning path, right? It would need to be more like a
exactly.
learning path. Yeah.
Yeah, and it could also be not only a track for courses, but it could be a tailored course that is get bits and pieces from different courses. So for me, it is a kind of a crash course that is having the most important topics I'm looking for. So instead of taking a long path of, for example, 5 courses, I have now one course that is tailored for me and having the topics that are I need to fill or I need to understand and to develop my skills in.
And basically, it could even be part of the course, just like you recommend a chapter for someone to read in a book.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, thanks a lot, Sally. Anything other to add?
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Moderator, can you please let Shadi talk?
Okay, I will do this right now.
Thanks.
Hello, Ammar. How are you?
Hello, Shadi. All good?
Yeah. Okay, I'm working on 2 different projects. One project is an IoT project. I'm basically cooperating with an embedded system engineer to build a smart system for like a bee incubator system. So
That's
basically, there are
interesting.
some sensors that there are some sensors that collect temperature, humidity, and based on the values of these sensors, we turn on fans or turn on heaters in order for to just to improve the productivity of the bees inside this incubator. And we are like personally, I'm building the data architecture of this system because what we want to do is to build an IoT system that collect data from this smart system, push it to the cloud, and then we can do either
Do you
analytics.
actually need the cloud?
We need just the IoT service in AWS in order
Why?
to well for IoT there are 3 levels of design for IoT. Maybe the basic one is just to make data in AWS IoT accessible from other services on the cloud. So I'm also building a mobile application where authenticated users have access to the data.
Can see the results. Yeah, this now makes sense.
See the data from AWS IoT. So basically, AWS IoT allow authenticated users
To access
from Amplify.
the results of their sensors, basically, or their
Yes,
beehives.
exactly. And at this point, there are different ways on how I can use this data. Maybe I can
Okay, cool.
save it on a data lake. But actually, I'm not sure how to use AI at this point.
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that AI is not something that we must use. If we need it, we use it. It is something that we have in our tool set, right? And with that being said,
Exactly.
there is a possibility for you to use AI, and I'm going to explain why, but I'm going to explain how. But I need you to just correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to restate the whole application that you're in. Is this okay?
Okay.
Okay, so first, Shadi is developing an embedded system framework, basically, that includes the embedded system or the IoT sensors and the software in order to monitor beehives. So beehives, يعني بيت النحل, okay? And beehives are basically are going to be equipped with sensors related to the temperature, humidity, whatever, like the amount of flowers around the hive, whatever. And all of these sensors are going to be feeding the data towards the database or the Amazon service that will collect this data and store it somewhere. And based on this data, they're going to decide whether they need to turn on fans, they need to make it cooler, they need to make it hotter, whatever, in order to improve productivity. And this is a great thing now. So what can Shadi do if he wants to use AI after deployment? You're going to deploy this on like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 beehive plants. And you're going to collect all of this data and you're going to compare the outcome of the hive. So if I put these thresholds of temperature, humidity, whatever, I'm getting this amount of like honey. And if I'm putting these values, I'm getting this amount of honey. So changing the values or the thresholds that you have put in them explicitly is changing the amount of honey that you're taking. Am I correct,
Exactly.
Shadi?
Yeah, so the next step is to
To do analysis on the data that you're going to collect out of these
yes,
edge
is
devices.
to collect the amount of honey we are making through these big incubators.
Exactly.
Okay, that's really nice insights. And if we have time, maybe I can share another project I'm working on.
Absolutely, man. I'm gonna share my LinkedIn at the end of this, and you can look me up.
Okay.
I'm usually active on LinkedIn. Cool.
Thanks a lot.
My pleasure. So let's move on to a conclusion. This is the conclusion of the first presentation here. So AI as a service offers accessible, scalable, and cost-effective AI solutions. This is a given. Challenges of AI as a service includes data security, provider dependency, and integration complexities. Prominent methods of AI as a service include Google Cloud or Vertex AI. They include Google Cloud and Vertex AI. They include Microsoft Azure or Azure ML, Amazon SageMaker, IBM Watson. Each of these has its unique set of services, but the general services are basically common across all. Looking ahead, we anticipate ongoing advancements in AI as a service technologies, broader industry integration, and a weighted focus on ethics and regulations. So do we have any questions about this first presentation that we had here, which is AI as a service introduction? This is the time to raise your hand if you want to open the mic, guys. No questions? Can AI as a service implemented in the medical field? If so, can you give an example of dentistry? Yeah, sure. That is a great question. So, you anonymous attendee, can you open the mic first, or it's not possible for you? Because if you could, because like I need some subject matter expertise. You know, Shadi just told me about his B knowledge because there are dependency on like temperature, on whatever things. This is how he makes decisions. I don't really know how dentistry work. I know how to use teeth, but I don't know how to fix teeth. I'm gonna assume some things in order to give you an example here. So basically, if we want to use data coming from teeth, we're gonna be using uh, like panoramic X-rays, right? And for those who doesn't know, panoramic X-rays are basically an image of the bones of the teeth, if I can call them that. And those bones are going to tell you how good or how basically to do the braces. تعرفوا تقويم الأسنان, how to do the braces so you can fix the teeth. And usually this is done by calculations. People the medical doctors or dentists use calculations to figure it out. And those might be sometimes inaccurate because they depend on the view of the person or the doctor. If we train an AI system on many, many, many images of like if a company does the service and then people would be using it, like Amazon, for example, it offers some healthcare AI services. So if they make it, then you could just give it the panoramic X-ray, and it's gonna give you back the possible the possible solution to go with, and with steps and with predicted movements for every month. So I can approximate how much does it need to fix this case, basically. Does it answer your question, you anonymous attendee? I hope it does. And great. So I'm going to be moving to my next presentation now if we don't have any more questions. Do we have? Any more questions? So, can you... All good. That is great to hear. And let me share my screen. Okay. So the second thing we're going to talk about is we're going to be delving into the fascinating world of serving the AI application through APIs. APIs, if you guys are not familiar with that, it is the way the internet communicates. So if I'm gonna be sending you a WhatsApp message, I'm gonna be sending an API to your number in order to get a WhatsApp response. That's basically it. APIs plays a pivotal role in making AI more accessible and efficient. And this is the time for us to explore the significance and practical examples of API together. So our agenda for today for this session includes an introduction to ML model APIs, the crucial decision of selecting the framework, the steps for model preparation and serving, and we're going to discuss some hands-on possible examples that we're not going to go through in detail, but it's there. So, introduction to AI model APIs. APIs are like language translators for software. Okay. They ensure that different programs can understand each other's and work together. Now imagine a translator specifically skilled in the language of artificial intelligence, and these are the AI model APIs. They're designed to facilitate the integration of advanced machine learning functionalities to seamlessly get into applications, opening the door to a new era of intelligent software. AI model APIs are more than just tools. They are the driving force behind the rapid evolution of modern software development. Their significance lies in the ability to scale applications, making them more efficient, flexible, and accessible. Imagine you have imagine the collaborative power of developers globally, building on each other's work, all made possible through these APIs. So now when you use the ChatGPT like front end, the website, it is made through APIs. So the model is not on your machine, it is in the cloud, and you're going to access this cloud using APIs. The benefits extend beyond efficiency gains to fundamentally transforming how we approach and democratize advanced AI capabilities. So this is the power of AI, and I think it's obvious. Real-time integration for applications. So is like real-time integration, the idea of like being able to get there in real time is the heartbeat of AI model APIs. Imagine an application making split seconds decisions, utilizing machine learning models in real time. This isn't just about speed. It's about creating user experiences that are not just responsive, but truly intelligent and personalized. Organizations leveraging these capabilities gain a significant competitive advantage in offering smarter and more adaptive applications. Are we good so far? Any questions? Anything in mind? So Are you imagining how API are going to serve the AI model? So if you guys have ever worked with AI, you're gonna end up with a weight file, right? And this weight file is basically the encapsulation of knowledge that we got to using the training process. If we want to optimize this encapsulation of knowledge, is gonna be basically something in between the lines of so I now understand the shape of faces. I now understand the difference between the cats and the dogs. But this weight file, we call it, is usually a large file. So we don't really convey this weight file to the side of the user. We just do the general understanding of having it in the cloud on our end, and then deciding uh, like for every request a response. Okay. Any questions about real-time integration and APIs in general for AI? Can you guys use the chat if you need? You can raise your hand and we're gonna unmute you if needed. And if you want to talk in Arabic, that's completely fine, guys, okay? No questions? Cool. We have a question. All good. Chat is disabled. Can you, moderator, we need your help here. Moderator got lazy. It's fine. We forgive you. Okay. So let's move to the framework selection, where we have different choices of using APIs, right? And especially that AI is being developed in Python usually. So let's check them. Our set of frameworks uh, covers a spectrum from lightweight to comprehensive. Flask, for example, it's known for its simplicity. So these are Python packages that you can use, right? So I'm going to go over them really fast. So Flask is known for simplicity and it is very good as a starter. Django, it provides a comprehensive solution for larger applications. Fast API introduces the speed and asynchronous support with automatic API documentation. TensorFlow Serving is specialized for developing machine learning models in production. Cool. So consider the scale and complexity and specific needs of your project when choosing a framework. It's not just about the features, it's about finding the right fit for your application. So Fast API, for example, it introduces speed. Like consider these are the things that you can use in order to get into something that is scalable, something that has that is accessible from everyone. So let's talk about the steps for model preparation and serving. Before serving your model, and basically serving the model is about making your model available for people to use. Before serving the model, we're gonna talk about the essential steps that are needed in order to be able to serve the model. So we have training, we have testing, we have saving in a compatible format, ensuring that this model works seamlessly within the chosen framework. So basically, we start by training your AI model on a diverse and representative dataset. This is a given. Once the model is trained and validated, we save this model or the weights in a format compatible with your chosen deployment framework. This ensures seamless integration and easy deployment across different platforms. Before serving the model via an API, we need to define a clear processing steps to handle the model's input-output effectively. So likewise, establish a post-processing steps to interpret the model output correctly as well. before deploying the model through an API, we need to conduct a thorough testing within the chosen framework. That being said, we need to start with defining our AI endpoints. So let's start by understanding what API endpoints are. So in simple terms, they are like the entry point to a software application, determining how different systems interact. It's not just about URLs. These endpoints specify the operations that can be performed and the data that can be retrieved or manipulated. Moving on, the importance of outlining input and output parameters cannot be overstated, Salah. This clarity ensures accurate processing, consistent data formats, and facilitates smoother integration for developers through comprehensive documentation. Lastly, authentication guarantees that only authorized entities can access the API. Maintaining data integration, security protocols are in place to protect data during transmission and to prevent unauthorized access, ensuring the overall security of the API. With that being said, we need to move on. So the first step is model preparation. The second step is defining the API endpoint. The third step is testing. And testing basically ensures that your AI models perform as expected and delivers reliable results. Several tools are available to test your APIs. Postman is a go-to solution for API testing, offering a robust management and team coordination features. Moving on to the deployment, the journey begins with meticulous preparations, including comprehensive testing and finalizing the AI model. With that being said, we move after testing and deployment, we move to monitoring. And monitoring is a very critical aspect of serving AI through APIs to ensure optimal performance. We need to keep a close eye on several key aspects: API performance, high error rates, resource utilization, so CPU, memory, disk usage. Security monitoring is essential to also detect and respond to potential threats in real time. Understanding the user behavior is equally vital. Analyzing interactions and monitoring for changes in behavior provide insights into usage pattern. Now, in terms of tools, you have a million things that you can actually use. You can use Grafana, Prometheus, and those are things that are a bit advanced, but there are tools out there for you to consider. So do we have any questions about these steps for model preparation and serving? So we start with model preparation, we define API endpoints, we test and deploy, and finally we monitor for optimal performance. So my question, like if you guys want to ask any question, please raise your hand, and our amazing our amazing support system here is going to help us unmute you. So just raise your hand if you have a question or write in the Q&A section. No questions? All is good?
Well, I have a lot of questions to ask, but it depends on our time.
Yeah, our time is ours. The goal here is
Okay.
to understand the concepts and not really rush into the finishing the content, right?
Okay. I was like deploying a model, UV8 model on SageMaker. So if you have done that before, you can help me
I did
in
it.
some technical stuff. Okay. Now what I'm doing is image segmentation. So I have built a pipeline that starts with Lambda function. And as you know, SageMaker and Lambda, like the memory is read only. So I cannot download the image either in Lambda or SageMaker. So
Why would you need to download the image? Didn't you make an API within the Lambda function?
the front end, you mean?
Yeah.
Um, The data the front end is basically a website where users can upload their images. Images are stored on S3 with CloudFront. So the front end makes a request with the URL of the image on S3. So the Lambda gets the URL of the image on S3. So
Okay.
what I did is that I downloaded
Download.
the image
Okay.
as bytes and send the image, send these bytes in this format to SageMaker. But like what I want to improve here in this pipeline, if I want to segment videos, in this case, there will be much frames that need to be segmented.
Yeah. So the trick here is the following. Instead of actually segmenting every frame of the video, you segment every 10 frames.
Okay. But the problem here,
And this is basically going to give us like a live feeling, but it's not actually live.
exactly. Like the challenge here maybe is that the video cannot be downloaded as bytes like images. So
It can.
how?
You need to reach on LinkedIn, and we're gonna talk about that.
Okay,
I'm gonna
okay,
give you some code for that.
okay. I really appreciate your help on this
My
task.
pleasure. My pleasure. So, how does Shadi's question connect to our AI as a service talk? Basically, Shadi is making his own AI as a service, and it is specific for his use case because he wants to serve his clients in a way continuously. So he is going to, and he trained his own model. So he wants to store this trained model in the cloud. Okay. So let's take a okay, or we can finish this presentation and then we take some break. So there are some advanced topics in AI model serving, and those topics goes from so those are points that we're gonna mention one after the other, and then we can talk about them. Okay. So incorporating continuous integration and continuous development in AI model serving automates testing and deployment processes. And this ensures consistency, reliability, and seamless updates in AI application development. Streamlining these aspects enhances efficiency and reduces the risk of errors during model deployment. And this is something that you guys should be aware of, that at the end of the day, it's not a manual process anymore. Like it was like that in like 2014, but it's not like the case anymore. So now it should be corresponding to a CI/CD pipeline, and we need to handle model versioning and updates. So effective model versioning and updates are crucial. This involves like managing different versions of AI models. Sorry, it was a technical problem. So effective model versioning is super crucial. This involves managing different versions of AI model and implementing controlled updates in production environments. Proper versions control, just like Git does for your code, um, basically ensures some seamless transitions and allows for testing new iterations without disturbing the entire system. And this is what we use Git for. It's going to be there to help us just make sure that we can roll out and we can update our code without actually going into the headache of what might happen and what was the error and when was the error out there. Then, ensuring the security of AI APIs is paramount. This involves implementing encryption for secure data transmission, robust authentication, and authorization mechanisms. Regularly updating and patching the dependencies is essential to address vulnerabilities and maintain secure AI application ecosystem. We need to monitor and log for production AI APIs. And this is something that is common for every software application, including AI ones. So establishing effective monitoring system provides real-time insights into system behavior. While logging relevant events is crucial for debugging and performance optimization, these practices enhance the overall reliability and performance of AI applications in a production environment. With that being said, do we have any questions about these concepts, the advanced topics in AI model serving? So CI/CD, which is deployment, model versioning, which is basically the Git of models, security best practices, monitoring and logging. Do anyone have a question or have second thoughts about the importance of these things? Okay. So if if you have, just raise your hand. Okay, no questions. So we're going to talk about a possible application where let me check it. Yeah, it's not going to work for us. So I'm going to talk about what was intended to happen. If we were more in a workshop environment, I would ask you to go make a Python function that does letter counting. Okay, let me open it myself and show you. And okay, so cursor. Give me a moment, guys. Okay. So this letter counting system is basically going to receive a string of letters, and it's gonna count how many characters does this string of letter hold. Okay, and it is very simple, and we want to implement it ourselves and make it accessible for others to use. Okay, and in order to do so, we will do something called API, and we have already seen API now, and we will apply it in practice. Okay, so yeah, that is it. Let me share it correctly. So serving AI applications through API. And the idea here is that I hope you guys are familiar with Python, because if not, I cannot really translate it into any other language. I don't really need that here. So we start by making this function, character counter, that takes a string and returns character count, which is a number, the length of this input string. Then we make a endpoint. We have spoken about the endpoints earlier. We make the endpoint, and we just return the character count of the input string that is given to this endpoint, right? Afterwards, how is this functional? We just run this code, name what? Input string is not defined. We have a bug in here. Input string. Yeah, it's working. So we open Postman, which is an API, agent, something, whatever. And we try I hope you guys are understanding what am I doing. So basically, we're gonna make a request here, and we have this module called input string. Okay, and the text is hello. So if we hopefully send that, we're gonna receive something like character count is 5. And hello there, or hello world, this is 11 characters. So what we have did here exactly is that we created a function, a Python capability, whatever, was it AI or not? This is not AI, but was it AI or not? And we served it now to the public. So anyone now who has this link is going to be able to access this. But by coincidence, this link is now my local host, so no one can really use it. It's my PC, right? But this is the code running here, see? And this is me using it here. So imagine if you have like a face detection algorithm that you're doing, and you just attach the image there and you send the image instead of sending the string. But now that's an error because it's not expecting that. Okay? Do we have questions about the code? Raise your hand and feel free to ask your question. Or use the Q&A or whatever you want. And you can ask in Arabic if needed. Asma has a question. Can you, the moderator, please help us with that? Unmute Asma. Moderator. Can I unmute her? I can't. Moderator, can you help us here? Asma, can you write your question in like Q&A so that we could see it, because the moderator doesn't seem to be here now.
I'm here. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, can you please unmute Asma?
Asma, okay, I will.
Thanks. Yes, Asma. Hopefully, yeah, you can unmute yourself now, Asma.
You can talk, Asma.
Hey, first of all, I want to thank you for the clear explanation. Thanks for the effort. I want to ask you, I'm working on a system, PMO, which is project management of the software. And I want to integrate an AI model that specifically answers 3 questions. Based on what? Based on the data that the user has inserted about their own projects previously,
Cool.
okay?
So give me an example.
An example for a project, maybe
Yeah,
a
like for
construction
input, output.
The input that the user gives to the system, maybe the dates of receiving the land for the project, then when it should be delivered to the government, how many days or the duration of execution this project. Some data related to the project. For me, I'm a project manager, or this system is a project management office. Can you configure or picture what the system about?
Makes sense.
Okay.
And you're trying to use AI to do what exactly? To optimize the...
To answer specifically 3 questions. One of them may be what the risks that will project face if there was a late in delivery, or maybe if half of the duration has passed, but only the technical percentage of execution this project is 10% there. So there may be some risks that this project.
But like, how will the AI model get these information?
Give me an answer for what risks this project will face based on its data that exists in the system or in my database.
And do you have like a description about the project itself? Do you have like the details?
Sure. I have data about this project.
So basically, if you now send these data to like ChatGPT, would you get like a reasonable risk analysis answer?
This is my question. I want to ask if there is a model that's specified in project management that may serve me in this module, or I can simply use
How technical
GPT.
are you, Asma? Like, are you technical or not?
No, I'm a product owner.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you to write down some of these technical words that I'm gonna use and to give them to your technical team. Is that okay?
Technical words like what? يعني,
Okay.
give me example.
So there's this concept of RAG, RAG. And
Yeah,
RAG is,
I've just heard about it today.
and this is
Augmented
something that's gonna solve your problem. That's it.
retrieval augmented. Yeah. Okay.
Generation.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
And exploring this term is gonna do the following basically. It's gonna give you, it's like basically what does it do? ChatGPT now knows a lot about lots of things in the world, but it
Yep.
doesn't really know how the internal liquids of the stomach of this insect works, right? This
Yes.
information exists in a book, and it's a very super specific book. So in order for us to help this LLM model get better results for us, whenever we ask about this insect, we're gonna go
I need
grab
to
the book with
provide
us.
the model with this book previously to answer me, to
No,
give me the
nope, nope,
answer.
nope, nope, no, no. This is what you're talking about is fine tuning, and this is not our
Okay.
case because it's so
Uh-huh.
expensive and it needs lots of data. In our
Okay.
case, we have like books about project management, let's say, our owning products, whatever, right? And we
Right.
want to inform this LLM to be more product specific. So
Yes.
whenever we ask this LLM any question, we give it these like 3, 5 books.
Uh-huh.
So it would get into the mentality of a product owner. And therefore it's gonna get more accurate results for you.
Okay. You mean
Make
that I
sense?
can use retrieval augmented generation? I don't really need the fine tuning of the model. RAG will be just enough
Enough
for my
and
case.
cheaper. Yeah.
Okay, can you just recommend for me models, or can I simply use GPT, or there is another one which is cheap?
I'm not gonna go into that. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn and we can do that privately. That would be better.
Okay, that's fine. Can you share with me your LinkedIn URL?
Yeah, let me get my okay, so it should be in the chat now. And guys, I'm really sorry because I cannot really give recommendations based on one provider or the other because I'm affiliated with some. So I cannot like prefer one over the other, right?
Yep, I got your point, but I can't really see your LinkedIn URL. It's not in the
I've
chat.
I've sent it on the maybe chat is disabled. Host, can you help
It's
us?
disabled for me actually, and I can see any messages in it.
MENA support for. Well, what's the name of the host? So okay, just like search LinkedIn for my name as it is written here.
Okay, I will.
And it's basically followed by pergola, whatever there. Okay. So guys, is it okay if I take like a 5 minutes break because it's a continuous hour of talking and I need to take some rest?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so only 5 minutes of break and then we go back at -15. Okay,
Okay, no problem.
thanks. Okay, we're back. So let me share my screen again, and now we're gonna talk about something called Docker. And Docker for AI deployment is basically it's a fascinating word. And let's explore how Docker revolutionized the way we deploy and manage AI applications. So our journey promises insights into streamlining the deployment process for AI solutions. So fasten your seatbelts and let's embark this exploration together. Our agenda unfolds by examining past inefficiencies, introducing container basics, and navigating the essentials of Docker deployment, including the critical VMs versus Docker comparison. We explore Docker key features from microservices simplification to reproducibility assurance. Let's conclude eventually our journey. We talk a bit about deployment strategies and future trends, and we're gonna talk about container orchestration as well. So a bit of introduction. In the early days, running only one application per server was the norm, leading to inefficiencies, high cost, and environmental impact. The lack of flexibility meant purchasing new servers for each application without knowing its performance requirement, resulting in lower service capacity utilization. VMware basically introduced virtual machines, a significant improvement by enabling multiple applications to run on a single server. This breakthrough allowed better utilization of existing servers, reducing the needs to purchase new ones for each application. However, VM had many limitations, such as requiring dedicated operating systems for each virtual machine and facing challenges in migration and boot times. Here comes container to the game. So container, as technology evolved, containerization emerged as a game changer, especially popularized by web-scale players, Google, for example. Containers share the host's operating system, leading to efficient resource usage, reduced license cost, and seamless workload movement. This shift marked a significant departure from the limitation of virtual machine, providing a faster and more portable solution eventually. Modern containers are the result of extensive work from contributors and organizations like Google. Key technology like kernel namespaces, control groups, union file systems, Docker played a vital role in the growth of containers. Despite their complexity, Docker democratized container usage, making them accessible to a wider audience of people. So what is Docker basically? A bit of infrastructure and architecture. The runtime is responsible for starting and stopping containers and managing the operating system. The Docker daemon or Docker D is basically handling tasks like managing images, volumes, networks, and exposes the Docker remote API. While Docker Swarm is very popular, many organizations prefer Kubernetes for its scalability and robust cluster management capabilities. A bit of comparison between Docker and Docker containers and traditional virtual machines. On the left, you see the classic virtual machine setup with hypervisor and multiple guest operating systems. On the right, we see Docker that shares the host operating system kernel among containers. And this is the main difference here. Comparing VMs and Docker in terms of runtime, environments, and resource optimization. So VM offer a well-separated runtime environment with visibility of all hardware resources, while Docker containers are more lightweight and focus on optimizing resource usage. Taking one more technical view, containers align well with the microservice architecture, and this is a super advantage for them. Each container is usually for a single purpose. It should be lightweight, it should be interchangeable, and portable as well, scalable, making them ideal for modern application development. key Docker features are basically some of the things that made us choose Docker. Why should we basically choose Docker? Docker simplifies hosting and managing microservice, making it easy to migrate components. Microservices are small, autonomous components, and Docker provides an efficient way to define, contain, and give access to these components. Moving on to the importance of a reproducible environment, Docker ensures consistency across hardware, operating system, libraries, and dependencies. This is crucial during development, testing, and production, ensuring that the environment remains the same throughout the application lifecycle. Docker also serves as a repository to download components, a client for command execution, and a target for deploying applications. Docker files are essential for automating image creation. They contain build instructions used by Docker to create these screenshot of Dockers. Unlike storing binary image, Docker files allow for automatic builds, including the latest versions and enhancing security by avoiding vulnerable software installation. Moving on to orchestration, we have powerful tools like Kubernetes and Docker Compose for managing and deploying multi-container applications. It is basically the way to orchestrate the effort that different microservices are putting in together. We will dive deep in those concepts, I think. CI/CD is more than a need for Docker, and continuous integration and continuous development is what CI/CD stands for. So it's all about making sure that all of the changes that we do in the code is directly reflected on the client side whenever needed. And this not only streamlines the software delivery lifecycle, but also ensures consistency across different stages, from development to testing to production. Deployment and future trends. So now, when it comes to deploying Dockerized applications and productions, certain best practices are essential. So we're going to delve into considerations for security monitoring, tools to maintain optimal performance, and strategies for scalability to handle increased workloads. Effective monitoring and logging are paramount in a containerized environment. So we're going to basically discuss the significance of these practices in ensuring the health and performance of containerized applications, exploring both Docker native tools and external options like Prometheus and the ELK stack. Looking ahead, it's essential to stay informed about the future trends and emerging technologies in the realm of containerization and AI deployment. So I know that this is super abstract and most of you have not heard a word of what I just said. And this is why I'm going to show you an example directly. So we have this code here, right? So this folder called app have the same
Sorry,
code that, yes.
you should reshare the other tab.
Right. So can you see it now?
Yeah, now we can see.
Okay. So basically, we have this folder 3 here. It has this folder called solution. And this folder called solution is basically our Docker. And I'm just going to open it now locally, just to start the Docker daemon here. Okay. So this folder called main has the API code that we just used for our first example. Why isn't this opening? Yeah, it is starting up. What? Okay. And now, oh, my bad. So anyway, and this code here is the code that runs the API that we just did that counts the number of characters. And this is easy. Then around it, we built something called the Docker file. And this Docker file installs an operating system that has Python and does install the dependencies that are needed. And whoever worked with Python knows what we're talking about here. So it's a pip install command. And we only need these ones. So in order for us to actually do that or use this Docker thing, we're gonna go here and change directory. We do Docker build inst DSC. And what is actually happening now? Must be lowercase, yeah. Okay. So what's actually happening now is that we are creating a virtual machine or something that right. Should work now. Yep. So what's happening now is that we are creating a virtual machine in a way that is more like a screenshot to the Docker, to the code that we have at the moment. Okay. And just like we ran our code there, we used to we ran it in a locally using the normal thing. Now we're gonna have a screenshot called DSC here inside Docker, and we're gonna run it just like uh, yeah, just like we used to, just like any other application would run. Failed, okay. As you can see here, now it is running inside a container. So we can use it just like we used the old ones. The difference here is that it is isolated. So it is not dependent on my computer. It is basically running alone like a virtual machine. Okay, I use the word virtual machine a lot because it is easier to understand. So if now we run the input string here, the connection is refused because I made a mistake. Images, DSC, optional setting, host path is 8,000. Okay, and send the request, still count characters. 172,001, 8,000. So for some reason it's not working, but you guys got the idea, right? Is there anything wrong with the code? My port, oh, 5,000. So we would just need to 5,000. So just I'm sorry for the delay here. Those are called technical issues. Oops. Exposed to the outside world. Okay, so it's not gonna work for now. But the idea, I'm not gonna spend more time on that. The idea here is that we're gonna try to containerize whatever code that we do inside an encapsulation that looks like a microservice. The expected outcome is basically the same, but I'm not sure that I haven't run this example for a long time now, so I don't really know what's wrong with it. So that being said, do we have any questions about Docker in general, about how you can integrate Docker with your existing systems or project that you are working on? You guys can raise your hands if you have a question, and our dear panel monitor will help us unmute yourselves. Asma, do you have a question, or is it like the same one that you rose hand earlier? Okay, understood.
No, all is clear. I just forget to lower my hand. Thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry that those concepts are not very clear. It could not be like really shown to you guys. So if you want, we can open a discussion, a general discussion about question and answers in AI from now on for the remainder time.
Okay. I have some questions about containers specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Do you recommend to use containers over a serverless framework?
Yeah.
For a e-commerce website?
Those are independent concepts. You can do containers in a serverless framework. So it doesn't contradict with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can just use Docker with the serverless framework without any contradiction. It's not gonna be a challenge, right? It is like a method that you're talking about here. So building on top, right?
Yeah. On AWS, there are some services for using Docker containers like ECS, ECR,
Yeah.
Fargate, and
so ECR, for example, is all about saving Docker images.
Docker the registry for containers.
Yeah.
So I think in some heavy machine learning projects, it's better to use containers and use SageMaker for applications that use or need GPU.
Yep. Not necessarily. No, not necessarily. Maybe some services that uses CPU are basically needs further monitoring, right? So if something needs lots of monitoring, you would use it inside SageMaker because it helps you do that. Or if this service might be retrained again soon, or you do the update on the version of it, you would also need to have it inside this SageMaker.
I see.
Other questions? Anyone? Guys, many people haven't participated in anything today. So Shadi, if you have any other question, you can ask, since no one seems to have any question.
I have sent you a message on LinkedIn to follow up on our talk.
Absolutely. Same goes for you, Asma. Did you find my LinkedIn page?
Yeah, I've just sent you a connect request. So I'd be happy if you accept it. Thank you.
I'd love to. So, do we have any other questions in general? Yeah, Muhammad, please can you help us unmute Muhammad? DSC MENA support for.
Hello.
Hello.
I just want to ask what kind of shop titles or jobs in this space, like the space of AI and AI development.
So can you clarify more? Like, where is this question coming from? What's your background? So you're asking this question, so I can like really answer it the way you are interested in it.
Okay, I am a pharmacist, and currently I am a digital transformation officer. And I am like I want to develop more further develop my skills, but I don't know where should I go, like what kind of job titles or what is the aspirations that I should shoot for.
Okay, so I tell you one thing here, and this is something that is okay. So I also teach at the university, and this question comes a lot, and it comes with a bit of frustration from students. So it comes like this. What is the job title that I should be looking for? Or how should I get to the job title that is suitable for me? Or what are the steps that get me to this or that job title? I look at the topic in a different way. What gets you the job title? It's the skills, right? So the more skills you have, the better job title you're gonna have. Are we good on that, Muhammad?
Yes, of course.
So let's focus on the skills and not on the title itself. What are the skills that we need in the realm of AI? We need Python, that is a given. We need math and algebra, that is also a given. And we need some certifications, like basically courses. Many of the online courses, especially on, I cannot disclose names, especially on platforms like YouTube, Udemy, Coursera, whatever, there are many courses, and you could know these courses by the number of attendees. So those courses, when they have like whatever, a tenth of thousands of students, those are credible courses, and you can easily adopt them. In addition, as you guys are Egyptian, Hamad?
Yes.
Okay, so there is this doctor called Ahmad Al-Salab, and he makes some courses on Udemy, and he's really good. And
Okay.
he has courses in Arabic if you guys prefer to.
Okay, but I just want to follow up with my question, like uh, most of the jobs, or most of like the gigs I get is like through LinkedIn. Someone reach me, tell me that he want my help in something. But when I see jobs on LinkedIn, I want to apply for them. I don't know what do I expect from like this job, or like this job title, or the job description is like so he's like
Yeah,
just
and this is the norm of the industry at the moment, because whoever is hiring someone for AI, he's not really sure sometimes why he need it. So he doesn't really know what he's gonna expect from him to give them. So it's more like a personal experience at each case. So they don't really know what to expect, right? They are exploring the world of AI. This is the word that is common across all. We are trying to explore, and that's it.
so how can I like benchmark myself? Should I benchmark myself with like the level of professionalism, or the level of like skills that I have,
Okay,
or should
I'm
I?
gonna give you this word. I shouldn't, but I'm gonna do it. There is this website called Workera. Okay, so Workera, like work, عمل يعني. Workera is a website on which you can assess your skills on most of the topics, one of which is AI. So you do an exam, and then you can easily understand why and what are you are you going to get. And yep, that's it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
My pleasure. Asma, yes, what's your question?
At the same topic, the career path and job titles, sometimes I get confused about what AI engineer do and what machine learning engineers do at the same time. Does
Okay.
AI engineer work in APIs or optimization of the models, or
Asma, take it easy. It's the exact same thing. Don't worry about that. So it's about the naming preference. Each person has his own terminology and how he says things, and this is one of them. And both options are exactly the same. Don't you worry about that. Sometimes machine learning engineer means that you're gonna get more in math, that you're gonna get involved in math, but this is not a this is not a rule at all.
So getting deep in math, does it help them like optimization the model, or what specifically do they do in their job?
I
Is it
think that
developing the APIs or optimization of modeling or training more models? I mean, I didn't get the idea of the job title actually. I'm asking about it because we are getting more involved in AI integration with our software systems. So for the coming hiring, actually, I don't know what to expect from these people and what actually do I need.
you know I'm gonna ask you to be more forgiving with how the system is like the AI industry is going right now, because it is not standardized yet. And like it's a um how can I say it? It is it is how it is at the moment. Things are not standardized, and we should like accept that. There are many unorthodox things that are happening, and that's it. So, how to expect anything? Just read the job description and try to make the maximum out of the skill set that you have. That's like the best thing I can say, maybe.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
just keep
So you're
improving,
telling me not to expect too much,
understanding this.
just working on the existing models and APIs and the real use cases I need in my systems, and that's it. That's that I'm gonna take from this.
I usually think that the best skill anyone can have is expanding their knowledge. So work on this skill. The skill that we are looking for is expanding our knowledge. And you cannot lose with that skill. Maybe it doesn't get materialized soon, but you will certainly not lose. Makes sense? Oh, Asma, yeah. Yeah, what's Asma? DSC MENA 4, can you please help us unmute Asma again?
In my opinion, Asma needs to know more about AI specialization. Um, in my experience, when I explore websites in Egypt where companies post jobs, they don't know
It's
what are
confusing.
the HR don't know don't know what skill set are
How to
required.
write who they need, yeah.
Yeah, they don't know the requirements. For example, one company posted like an AI engineer job position, and they wrote in the requirements data engineering, data analysis, data science, computer science, and a lot of these keywords, but they don't know or they don't write what exactly the applicants are required to do. So the applicants don't know what they are looking for.
Yeah, this might be, yeah, reasonable. I agree. Okay, so I think this gets us to the end of our session. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I feel it just started actually. I didn't feel the time, but I need to leave now. Thank you a lot, DSC MENA, for your support. We appreciate that. And
Thank you.
it is my pleasure, actually. It was fun.
Thank you, Amir.
Ammar.
It was very interesting, and thank you everyone for watching the tutorial and being with us today. We will see you tomorrow from 10 a.m. Thank you, Amir.
My pleasure.